Hi everyone, I'm Lala M. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I am making beef ribs. I'm braising them in a green salsa. I came up with this recipe because I had too much green salsa that I didn't want to waste because I'm not a wasteful person. And we had beef ribs and I wanted to braise them in something. I put the two together and it worked like magic. So good. Now these are beef short ribs cut the long ways. Now you can find these in a Mexican meat market. I'm gonna just cut them in half and then I'm going to season them. These I just cleaned them right now. I just washed them, and this is 5 pounds. These are usually when you find them in the Mexican meat market, they're a lot thinner. But these are pretty thick. So I want to say like at least 1 inch thick. Yeah. All right, so again, they're pre-washed. Let me just cut them up, season them, and then we're going to be searing them. Be right back. All right, everyone, I'm hopping on the voiceover because I was, like I said before, when I get into my element, when I get in the zone, I just don't speak. So here I am on the voiceovers. Okay, so I'm using about 2 tablespoons of the Chef Morito garnet asada seasoning. This seasoning goes great with beef, everything beef. And then I'm using the Chef Morito garlic powder, about a tablespoon. And then I'm going to use onion powder, and that's about another tablespoon. Now, also ground black pepper. I want to mention, because, you know, people come in my comments and they comment really harsh and really disrespectful things. So I just want to just get a couple things out there. I'm about to use my hands. So you people out there that come to me and say, oh, you're using your hands. Girl, God made my hands. They great tools, okay? I wash my hands, and I'm a clean person. I don't go around touching my dogs or picking my butt and then cook without washing my hands. My hands are always clean. Trust. That's the first thing. Second thing, seasoning. Do you. Recipes are meant to just be whatever that person that's cooking's taste buds is. If you want to add more salt, oregano, comino, you do you. I've never said this is how you should do it. I'm just showing you what I do. You can try it this way or try it your way. Okay. I put some avocado oil in the pans to sear the meat. Searing the meat is just basically just getting like a little flavor, kind of filling in the flavors that I added to the meat, but also giving it some color. And you're not cooking the meat all the way, because you will be braising it for about 2 hours, 3 hours. So there you go. That's what it should look like. Now I chopped up 1 whole onion, and I'm just adding that to the pan to cook it off a little bit. You see that crust at the bottom of your pan? You want that. That's flavor. Do not get a new pan. Don't do it. I promise you. You want that flavor. I did use 2 pans because I did have a lot of meat. And I'm just getting, because I'm not going to braise in that pan over there, that black pan. I'm not going to braise in it. But I want that flavor because it left some flavor behind. And I'm just adding about, you know, a half cup of water or chicken broth, whatever liquid you desire. And I'm just scraping the bottom of that pan because I'm going to add it to the pan that I'm braising in. This recipe is very simple, like 3 ingredients. You know, a green salsa, onion, and your ribs, and you good. You know, besides seasoning. So what I'm about to do right there, that's called deglazing your pan. And I'm looking at this in editing, and I'm thinking, wow, if I would have used red wine, threw in a bay leaf, tossed in some thyme, that would have been a whole different meal. And I think that's a real fancy French meal. Because I think you use short ribs for that recipe as well. I don't know what it's called, but all right. So green salsa, I've made a green salsa recipe before. It's in one of my vlogs. I'll try to remember to link it. But it's very simple. There are the ingredients right there. You can pause the video, read the ingredients. What I did was I just basically got all the vegetables and roasted them in that pan right now. That pan that I'm using, I roasted it in that. And then I put the top on so they can get soft. And then I blended it all with the cilantro and the chicken powder and the cloves of garlic. And you just blend it and put it in your fridge. And, you know, you can use it throughout the week during dinners. Or you can, if you have too much, like I had too much, then you can braise them in some short ribs. It's so bomb, so good. Again, I'm deglazing the pan with the sauce, making sure I scrape and get every piece of flavor that was left behind. Tossing in the meat. I didn't think all that meat was going to fit, but it did. And don't forget to add the juices that are left in that bowl where the meat is, because that's, again, flavor. I cooked this. Well, let me just tell you that I let it come to a boil. And then I put the top on. I cut it down to low medium. And I cooked it for about 2.5 hours. And then once it was cooked, I kept it covered and put it on low just to keep warm. It was, you know, simmering a little bit, but it was warm. This is, this is 5 pounds of meat. So I definitely shared with my mom. I made her some to-go plates and we sent them over to her. This fed Raul the next day, fed me the next day. So this is it's a very hearty meal. I only made it with Spanish rice. And I didn't put too much like salt or flavor in the Spanish rice because that sauce is everything you need. You mix that rice with that sauce. Oof, girl, it's so good. It's juicy, it's flavorful, it's hearty, it's meaty. I mean, girl, I'm telling you, honey, I promise you want to try this. If you don't make your own green salsa, there are salsas you can buy in the grocery store. Herdez makes a really good one. Buy a couple bottles of that. If you make this much meat, you're going to need more than a couple bottles, because those bottles are small. But find your favorite green salsa, or find a recipe for a green salsa and try this recipe. I promise you will not be sorry. I'm going to get off the voiceover so you can finish the rest of the video. But as always, I hope y'all like this recipe. And if y'all try it, come back in the comments and let me know. I love you guys and thanks for all your support. Alright, so it's like 2.5 hours later. I just wanted you to see. I got some rice going. And I wanted you to see how tender the meat is. Try to get it so you can see, like, it's tender, fall off the bone tender. The bones are falling off, pulling away from the meat. So it's pretty much done. So I packed my mama some ribs and rice. These containers, by the way, are so cool. And there you go. These are beef ribs, braised in a green salsa with Spanish rice. I hope you liked this video. If you did, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. If you try it, come back in the comments and let me know how good it was, because I know it will be. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. All right, bye.